So this video is to show you how to apply multiple overpayment to a bill as a credit. Because by default, the system design is only allowing the prepayment or the credit note applied to a bill only if they are in the same currency. So let's say, for example, for this case, my base currency is in US dollar, and sometimes I do the overpayment or prepayment in Europe. And then my bill currency is gonna be in US dollar. So this time in this video, I'm gonna show you the workaround to it so that you can make sure that the prepayment from the foreign currency is able to allocate for the credit as a payment for the bills. So before I start, it's really important for you to create a suspense account in chart of account. So I just go to accounting, chart of account, and add account. For this time, I'm just gonna put the suspense account as expense type, and then I just put in the suspense account name. And very important that you can toggle on this one, enable payment to this account. So this is very important because that you have to make use of this suspense account to make payments, so that you can allocate the overpayment or the prepayment from foreign currency to the local currency bill. Okay, so right now I actually have two bank accounts. One is US dollar and the other one is Euro. So the first one, US dollar, I have imported a bank statement that is already like paid out for $250 to, let's say, to Google, and then the other one is in Europe, and then the amount for that currency is 237.58 cents. So in total, that made up to like $500 bills. So right now that we are also seeing that when we receive a bill from Google, I can actually add new bills. So just let me quickly put it into the bills. Let me just put it in advertising, for example. Just approve it. Okay, so right now that we have the bills, we also at the same time we have the bank transaction that has been like paid to Google before, but in two different currency. So let's start with the first one. So let's say, for example, the bank transaction was occur back in November. So I want to make it as like a prepayment so that I can add details, and I can select for prepayment. And then in the account, I can actually select the suspense account and save that transaction and reconcile it. And the other point is going to the Euro account, doing the same thing, and then I can just create the transaction, Google, and then select the suspense account, and I click on OK. Alright, so the two transactions like from bank is already reconciled and record in the suspense account. So right now that we are going to the bills, and then to allocate that to prepayment that is under suspense account right now, so that we can allocate the payment to it. So I'm just looking for the Google bill here. Okay, so the first one that you can allocate the US dollar 250 as a credit, so that you can credit this bill. And then so that $250 in US dollar in credit is already allocated, so that it is already written off. And then the other thing that you have to do is basically to type in the Euro account, like the amount of for the euro that you pay for in the bank account. so that you can put it in here, and then to select the suspend account. So you can see that this bill is already paid it, and then there are two payments. One is actually from the credit for the US dollar, and the other one is from euro that you have paid out from your EUR bank account. So let's take a look on the account transaction. So let me go for suspend account and click on the day range. Let's say, for example, I want to see the order transaction from end of November to end of December. So you can see here. So at first, when you're doing the bank reconciliation, when you're recording the prepayment, right? So that, let me actually show you more. So you can click on the related account and update it so that you can actually see the double entries. So the first action that you did was basically credit bank and debit for the suspend account. And then when you allocate the credit or when you allocate the prepayment to that bills, so it's basically adjust the amount from the suspend account so that you can pay that, like settle that bill, so that your account payable is being reduced. So that this is the workaround for applying the overpayment or prepayment from the foreign currency credit note to a local currency bill transaction. Yep, I hope that it helps.